What's up, everybody? Hoping everybody can see me, everybody can hear me. Definitely come on in. We're gonna definitely have a very good show for you on this evening, and we're definitely going to talk a lot of things about this schedule. The schedule has been released, and I give my thoughts finally on it. And definitely got quite a bit to talk about. Got a little bit to talk about on this show, so we're gonna definitely get this thing started in just a moment. But before we do begin, if you saw the thumbnail before the show, just make sure you share the show out. You can follow me on Facebook under Chris A. Newell. You can follow me on Instagram at Titans_N_truth. Also, you can follow me at on X at TNT Blu Enforcer. Definitely make sure you follow me there as well. And we're definitely going to get this road on the show. All right. So let's do this. Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome into another edition of TNT Tonight. I'm your host, Chris, aka Blu Enforcer, aka The Truth, and we're going to have a very good show for you on this evening. Again, make sure you share this show out, whether you share it out on Facebook. Definitely share it out on Facebook, on X, and also definitely go follow me on Instagram as well. And I definitely appreciate that. Super chats are also appreciated as well. Definitely be glad if you do that for me as well. And make sure also as you come in, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that like button. It helps get other people here. Trying to stretch out the audience a bit. So I'm definitely trying to do that as well. So definitely make sure you hit that like button as well. I would definitely appreciate that also. But let's go ahead and get started with the show. And, first off, the schedule has been released. The schedule's been released, and I'm just going to go ahead and get this out the way right now. I see Daniel Berry, what's going on. Let's get this out the way right now. No primetime games. I'm just going to go ahead, get that out the way right now. No primetime games. The NFL doesn't like us. The NFL doesn't respect us. But I'm also going to explain to you later. I'm going to explain to you later why this is a good thing. Why it is good to not have primetime games at this moment. Let it come. So we're going to go ahead and get into all of that and definitely talk about that. So let's get right into the schedule as more of you start to come on in. Again, make sure y'all share the show out. Please get the likes up as you come in. Go ahead and hit that like button. It's not hard to do. Just as you come into the show, hit like, and that helps out everybody. So everybody that's watching, please hit the like button. I would definitely appreciate that. So obviously we have 3 preseason games. We have the Bucks, we have the Falcons, and the Vikings. The Vikings, the last one is the only one that we have that's actually scheduled for the 22nd. The other games, their days are going to be determined. But let's get into the real thing, the regular season. So we kick off the season September 7th at 3:05 in Mile High. We head up to Denver to face the Denver Broncos and Bo Nix and Sean Payton. Then we come home for our first home opener, September 14th, against the LA Rams for week 2, bringing in Sean McVay and Matt Stafford to open up this new era. Followed by week 3 at home against the Indianapolis Colts, division game. And we know Indy can always be a little thorn in our side. And then week 4, the Houston Texans. Not an easy way to start the season. As I've seen, 3 out of your first 4 games of the year are against playoff teams from last year. Denver made the playoffs I believe it's a wild card. The Rams made the playoffs last year. I believe they won the division. You got two division champions in Houston and LA, and you got a wild card team in Denver who was much better than people thought. Not an easy way to start the year. Denver has a very good defense. LA, we know they're well coached with Sean McVay. Houston, imposters. We know that they're trying to be us so bad. And then you sprinkle Indy there in the middle. Not an easy way to start the year, but it does get a little bit interesting from there. With Houston, we are at Houston, then we go to Arizona and to Vegas. 3 straight road games. So we get 2 of our first 3 at home, then we get 3 straight road games, which I believe we are like one of only 1 or 2 other teams that has that same plight, 3 straight road games. So first part of the year, definitely not start off. It's a lot of travel. And, I heard another guy talking about it saying, man, it's a lot of travel, to and from Houston, then to and from Arizona, then to and from Vegas. Here's the thing about especially Arizona and Vegas. And what I'm hoping is this. Because you see, Phoenix, Arizona to Las Vegas, Nevada is 4.5 hours, about 300 miles between Phoenix, Arizona, and Vegas. So it's about a 4.5 hour trip. What I hope the Tennessee Titans do, and I remember Mike Mularkey did this, I want to say it may have been back in 2015. I'm actually looking up to confirm. I'm actually trying to confirm the date. But I remember Mike Mularkey led team. They had a game against the Arizona Cardinals, and then the following week had a game against the San Francisco 49ers in it wasn't Levi Stadium at the time, it was Candlestick. So what they did was what Mike Mularkey and the team did, they stayed, I believe, in Arizona, or they either went to California, and they were able to practice at a high school all week. They were able to get it arranged where they could practice at a high school all week. And they just stayed on the West Coast instead of going from Arizona back to Nashville, then flying out to San Francisco. I really hope Brian Callahan, they do that exact same thing. I think that would be really smart. That way you stay maybe in Arizona or something like that, or you find maybe a high school, or maybe depending on what's going on, that you're either like with a UNLV or a Nevada or something like that. Maybe you could use their field to practice for the Vegas game. And so I would hope that they do something like that, where they stay on the west side, on the West Coast, and not come back to Nashville to go back out west. I think that would be smart. That would not only save energy, but that would save mileage on the team plane, because that's a lot of traveling. Let's see. Titan South says we just have to beat more AFC teams, especially our division, and we have a shot for the playoffs in the end. Skrillex says, "Oh shoot, we play y'all. We play out this season towards the end, though. I'm excited to play Cam Ward." Skrillex, I'm just trying to get your favorite team. I just want to make sure I understand. Is it the Saints? I want to say. I think that's what I remember, but chime in on that, Skrillers. That way, just to make sure I remember. And everybody, make sure you get the likes up too. I see about 7 people. So the Saints. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that is, I believe that is a home game. So yeah, but I hope that's what they do is stay on the West Coast for those 2 games. Then there was one game that I thought would be interesting to have on national TV, and that is the New England Patriots. Mike Vrabel returning to Nissan Stadium. His first return to Nissan Stadium since the Titans let him go, and since he's become the head coach of the New England Patriots. I will tell y'all later on after the schedule which games I'm looking forward to, which games I think I'm going to try to attend. So after that, let's see. That's week 7. Week 8, we are at Indy. Week 9, home against the LA Chargers, Justin Herbert. And then we have our bye week at week 10. That's actually the perfect time for a bye. That is a great time for a bye. Week 10, right in the middle of the season. That is exactly where your bye should be. So already you're done with Indy. You've played Houston once. So you've already played 3 division games before your bye. That 9 games, that's a tough 9 games right there. You got Bo Nix, Matt Stafford, CJ Stroud, Kyler Murray. Then you're going to have Geno Smith with the Raiders, Drake May, who is up and coming, Justin Herbert, and then whoever the Colts decide to throw out there. Not a very easy stretch of games, but there are some winnable ones. And I'm not going to give my prediction just yet. We're going to save that for later in the year before the season starts. So around when preseason's coming to an end, that's when I usually give my season predictions. And I see I got Miss Mims up in, Miss Mims. I see Skrillex is hype. Yeah, I may have to check out that New Orleans game. Miss Mims, definitely thank you. Make sure all of y'all hit that like button as you come in. Reggie B, what's going on? T-Gas, Terrell, what's up, my guy? What's up, homie? Man, glad you finally caught it. Thank you for doing that. Glad you came on in. But the bye week comes at a perfect time because that is a crazy stretch of games. There are a lot of good quarterbacks the Tennessee Titans are going up against. And you got some good teams that Cam Ward is getting his feet wet against. So I do like having that bye in the middle of the season. You had already 3 straight road games in the middle of that. But what I do like is that starting with the Charger game and the bye week, then we come out of the bye week, which is a good stretch here, basically 4 straight home games. You got the Chargers week 9, the bye week, then week 11, 12, and 13 are all at home, which is good. So we ain't got to go nowhere. You got the Houston Texans coming in on week 11. Week 12 is the Seahawks. Very winnable game there against the Seahawks. Week 13, you got Jacksonville. So you get 1 versus 2. Cam versus Travis Hunter. Cam versus Travis Hunter. That's going to be interesting. CJ Stroud, Cam Ward could end up becoming a rivalry. I could really see that. I think that could be a very interesting rivalry between Stroud and Cam Ward. I would like to see that. Then after that, week 14, December 7th, we head to the dog pound. Could it be by then you could have Cam versus Shador at that time? If that happens, I think that could become a primetime game because I think everybody's going to want to see Cam versus Shador, depending on where teams are at that time. Terrell says, Titans got a tough schedule this season. I like y'all pick with Cam. You addressed a huge need at the quarterback spot. I like him too. I like him too. Week 15, we head out to San Francisco and we take on the 49ers. My dad's favorite team. Shout out, rest in peace to the late Donald Howard Newell, my pops. I know you shining down on me, Dad. Thank you. That's one game I might consider going to, although I don't like the cold, and I know Northern California can be a little chilly. Then we come home. 2 of our last 3 games are at home. You get Patrick Mahomes. That's another game that could be flexed in because, hey, you could have Cam Ward versus, you could have the present versus the future. Quite a few people have compared Cam Ward to maybe being Patrick Mahomes-esque. Still remains to be seen. We got to see about that. Sweet James Jones. What up, though? That's a name right there. Sweet James Jones. That's a name. What's going on, man? So after the Chiefs, then you have week 17 home against the New Orleans Saints, Skrillex team. Interested to see who they'll have at quarterback with Derek Carr retiring. James Jones. Why do I? Yeah, that name does sound kind of familiar. I'm like, look, one of the quarterback, one of the quarterbacks I know, name was CT. That's really like, bless the Lord, Derek Carr gone. I feel you on that. And then last but not least, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hold up. CT? Todd, you up in here? What's up, man? Yeah, use my quarterback in the Freeman days. I was on the other side of the ball, I had to hit a few quarterbacks. So, that's what I tried to do. Shout out to my Freeman crew coming through for a brother. That's what I'm talking about. That's family right there. But make sure I hit that like button. I appreciate that. But it's a very interesting schedule. Down the stretch, I think there are some winnable games. Seattle, Jacksonville, Cleveland, the 49ers, the Saints could be winnable games. Now, Kansas City, that's going to be a tough one. Texans, that's going to be a tough one. There are some winnable games down the stretch, and in the first half of the game, first half is going to be a little tough. We're definitely going to see about that. But here are some games that I think I'm the most looking forward to, some games that I think I'm going to try to attend. The first one that pops to me, and I've already started to put in the work. And Mr. Jones, we do have a running game. His name is Tony Pollard, Memphis' own. And don't you just hate it when your hat is coming apart. So, first game that I'm looking forward to, I've already started putting my time off for this particular weekend. The weekend of October the 12th. Titans, Raiders in Vegas. As God is my witness, I'm going to that game. I'm going to probably be looking up tickets probably sometime within the next week and going ahead and purchasing it. I'm going to go ahead and get me a nice seat at Allegiant Stadium. I plan to be in Vegas for that game. I am not missing that one. I've been wanting to go back to Vegas, and this is my chance. I'm gonna make sure I take me a nice little chunk of money too, because I could gamble a little. Gamble a little. Definitely see. Maybe I'll hit a couple of restaurants. Maybe I hit Hell's Kitchen, see how that tastes. Definitely treat myself a little bit, and everything. So I'm gonna probably within the next few days be looking at hotels and all that stuff. Vegas is gonna be my trip. That's gonna be a major trip. Oh, he's an every down back, my guy. He's an every down back. He can run and catch the ball. And not to mention, we did draft another running back by the name of Khalil Mullings from Michigan. So him and Tajay Spears, I mean, I'm gonna have to see him in action, but I I think we're gonna be cool at running back. Plus, I mean, we're gonna be passing the ball a lot more than usual. So that's gonna be very interesting. But that Vegas game, that is definitely one I'm already putting together that I'm going to. Another game, I am gonna be attending the home opener against the LA Rams. I'm definitely going to do that as well. That's another game I'm gonna try to hit. And for my Titan fans out there, I'm working on getting my season tickets back. I may do like the package. I think they always do like a pack, maybe a 4-pack. So I might do something like that, where I do like that 4-pack of tickets, and stuff like that. So I might do that. I don't really want to sit in the 300 levels. I'd rather not. But I'm gonna definitely check. So I think I'm definitely gonna work that out. I actually might have a friend of mine I might link up with as far as tickets are concerned. You guys have the best defense. Defense is getting kind of revamped a little bit. So I mean, we still got work to do. Skrilla says this is the first time we got a new quarterback and head coach since 06. Wouldn't be shocked if Cam Ward goes off week 17. We're definitely gonna have to find that out. Sweet James, I was there. Give you props for being a type. It's tough. It's tough. It is tough. I guarantee you it is very tough. But I'm hanging in there. So, but definitely the home opener, the game against the Raiders, I think are games I'm definitely going to try to go to. The game with the Patriots, I think that's very interesting because I know my best friend, his wife is a Patriots fan, so I know she's going to want to go, and he's going to probably want to go too. So that is probably a week. That'll probably be a day I'll probably hit up and take a trip for that game as well. And maybe one last game. So that's, like I said, 2. And I think I'll hit one more, depending on how the packs come out. Could be the game against the either the Texans or the Seahawks. Texans, Seahawks, or Jags. One of those 3. It might be 2 of those 3 I might hit, depending on dates and stuff and what's going on. Definitely might hit 2 of those before it gets really, really cold. I'm really not huge on the cold weather game. If we were in our new stadium, all bets are off. It doesn't matter when the game is. I would definitely try to go, even December games, because we'll be indoors. But right now, with it being outdoors, cold weather is not my cup of tea. But I think I'm gonna definitely hit maybe the either the Seahawks or that Texan game. So I might hit one of those 2, definitely. So that's something. Dad, Jay, why you being such a hater, man? We supposed to be cool, man. Who's your team, by the way? Who's your team, by the way? If I remember correctly, I think you might have mentioned it, but we finna get a classic news. We finna get a nice Steelers, of course. Of course you are. Typical Memphian. If it ain't the Steelers and Cowboys, I tell you, this city, we need to clear out this infestation of Cowboys and Steelers fans in this particular city because it kind of makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach. I know I got friends who are fans of both teams. I respect the Steeler fans a little bit more. At least they don't be trying to act like that they're the centers of the universe. I actually respect the Steeler organization. But don't come at me with that. We know in history we were better than y'all. We know that. It's okay. Although I got love for Mike Tomlin. Hey, shout out to that dude. So, but those are some of the games I'm really looking forward to. Vegas, the Rams, definitely the Patriots game. And then I'm going to go with either the Texans or the Seahawks. Those are games I think I'm definitely thinking about going to. Maybe I might go to that Kansas City game. I don't know. That's on my mom's birthday. Depends on where I am, unless I'm in Florida somewhere. So we're definitely going to find out about that. But though that's very interesting. So it's an interesting schedule. Now, let's talk about the Titans not having any primetime games. And I saw that Paul Kaharski and some people had the NFL vice president of broadcast on and basically saying, you know, it wasn't intentional. You don't draft your way into prime time. You play your way into prime time. I mean, look at the Commanders. I don't think they had too many home prime time games last year. Now they have 5 because they had such a great. Okay, just had to make sure connection was back on because it was giving me that warning. Yeah, so we got to keep going. But those are some games I'm definitely looking forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to. Looks like we're good on my end. Everybody should be back now. I had to fix something real fast to get the connection. But those, us not having any primetime games, that's a good thing. Because you know what? Let's sneak up on people. Nobody's expected us to do anything anyway. Right now, the over-under in Vegas is 5.5. I'm probably going to take the over on that one. I think the Titans will win at least 6 games. I think they could win 6, 7 games out of that schedule. And, Cam is going to win us, I think, a couple more games. Look, Mr. Jones. Metro PCS at least works, and so does my Titan. We're making a rebuild. We're not expected to do anything. I am not expecting nothing this season. I'm not expecting much this season. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy Cam Ward, and let's see if this offense grows, and let's see if Brian Callahan really can coach the guys up. Stevie, what's up with you, sir? So I'm not mad that they didn't have any primetime game. At first, I was a little, but I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of with them. Earn your way into prime time. And you have some games later in the year that could get flexed. Kansas City being one, Houston being another. Maybe we see where Cleveland's at. Cam versus Shador could be another one. So definitely could look at that. So that's something that I would actually look forward to. So I'm not really mad about that. Sweet J Jones says, I'm mad Mason Rudolph is back with us. Hey, that's y'all fault. Y'all signed him. Schooler said they have us number 1 pick in 2026. They have us at 5 games, completely relating with y'all. We're definitely gonna find out. I think I'm gonna take the over. I never see if I can win a little money off of that. We definitely gonna see. Again, make sure y'all get the likes up. Everybody, as y'all come in, hit that like button for me. Can't have a primetime game with Yeah, with opposing fans all up in your stadium. True, we got to build that back up. Although there is some excitement about this season that I do like. Now, um, two other things I want to mention before I get ready to call it a day. First off, I want to give a shout out to the Tennessee Titan Legends. Um, I watched the OTP, the official Titans podcast. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. They had an episode where they brought in some Titan veteran legends to talk to the rookie class. And I thought that was very cool, very important, and much needed. Because for a time, maybe before Mike Vrabel really came back along, they really didn't allow the alumni and the media to be all in the facility and stuff like that. You know, I and I thought that was messed up. You know, you got to have that connection between the Oilers and the original Tennessee Titans with the current. And so they brought, they had, Kevin Dice, Dr. Kevin Dyson, the freak Javon Curse, Mr. Monday Night Keith Bullock. Delaney was here, and Brett Kern, our punter, our former punter. They were all sitting in there with Cam Ward, Femi Oladejo, Xavier Restrepo, our rookies, and basically talking to them about the history of the Tennessee Titans, what it means to be a Titan, and basically what I liked was Javon and Dr. Dyson basically mentioned, hey, use your resources, use your resources, and if you need to talk to somebody, reach out to your teammates, reach out to the people in the building, because that can help. And everything. And so they gave a lot of wise advice. They gave a lot of wise advice about how to be a pro. How to, basically, like he said, like whatever one player is doing negatively, you need to do the opposite. If they going out partying or whatever, you need to be in your playbook. You know, if you need to take care of your body, things like that. Like Delaney basically talked about the story about him when he was coming up, went to the combine. He was like, hey, I got to show out, show that I know what to do. You got all these other big time players. I'm coming from a smaller school. And, he was like, hey, I'm going to make them know who I am. And then Brett Kern mentioned, hey, a lot of guys have made their money on special teams. A lot of these guys can make the team through special teams. That is probably for like undrafted rookies and late round picks. That's going to be your best way to make the team is special team. Delaney was like, hey, put me on every unit, kickoff, punt coverage, punt return, kickoff return. Put me out there. And so, that's how you can start, and then you can lead the things. I mean, look at what it did for Delaney. I mean, he comes here, he got to be the guy, and the rest is history. So I really, really enjoyed that episode of OTP. Even if you're not a Titans fan, look that one up. It's like, I think Alumni Speak to Rookies, I believe was the name. And it was very refreshing. And we need more of that. Man, I'm going to miss Mike Keith, the former voice of the Titans. I'm going to miss him. But I definitely liked that. Eyes wide is O-line fixed. On paper, it looks good, but we got to see it. We got to see it. Terrell said, well, Warren Moon talking on that episode too. No, he was not. But he came when when Cam Ward got drafted, and this is on, check it out on YouTube as well. You can look at the Titan page, like Cam's introductory press conference. I think Mike Borgonzi and Brian Callahan was like, hey, we got a special guest coming in. Want to speak to you, Cam. And then it was Warren Moon who came in and basically said, he blessed him with saying, hey, I want you to wear the number 1. He unretired the number. He retired it as an Oiler, but basically was like, up until now, no Oiler or Titan never wore the number 1 after Warren Moon until now. And Warren was like, yeah, I don't think we'll ever see number 1 Oiler wise again. Basically hinting there could be some new uniforms coming our way as well. But he basically said, hey, I made a legacy in number 1 with the Oilers. I want you to make a legacy with number 1 with the Titans. And I was like, I really, really liked that. I thought that was great. Major respect for Warren Moon. Major class. But definitely look that up. I liked that a lot. And then another thing I liked, and then I'm gonna get ready to wrap up the show, was I liked how the Titans did their schedule release video. I really liked that because it was funny. They did it like it was a medicine commercial. They called the medication Schedule Reese. They called it Schedule Reese, which it was like the medication Schedule Reese. The generic form was called Saccaprorin. No, Saccaproxin. That's what it was called. Saccaprosin. That was the generic form of Schedule Reese. It was like to help cure football withdrawal syndrome. I thought that was kind of funny. And then they basically was throwing shade at all the teams. They were like, they were showing all the games. It was like, side effects from side effects from this medicine. Broncos, altitude sickness. Rams, gridlock, because there'll be a lot of traffic for that game. Colts, hand, mouth, feet disease. Arizona, heat stroke. Raiders, crapping out. Texans, imposter syndrome. Things like that. That joke was funny. Some of that stuff was funny. Oswald said Cam probably didn't even know who Warren Moon is. I'm pretty sure if he did his homework, he knew who Warren Moon was. So it was like some of that stuff. And it was like, I think it was like another game, jet lag. So it was actually pretty cool. That commercial, that promo that they did for the schedule release. Schedule Reese. Be careful of the side effects. So I thought it was real funny. It was very, very funny. I did like that one very much. It is a cure because I think we all suffer from football withdrawal syndrome. And now that the schedule's been released, we can feel like we're being cured. So I definitely like that. But before we get ready to wrap up the show, first of all, from this past Sunday, I want to make sure I say a happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, especially first off, my mother, Laverne Thomas, my mother-in-law, Glover Tillman, My godmama Alice Smith, you know, Miss Lisa Robinson, Miss Lala Lisa Robinson, and of course Miss Beverly Johnson. Both of those women have adopted me as their son, pretty much. So those are the ladies in my life who are like moms to me. Happy belated Mother's Day to all your moms out there, or to any ladies out there who are mothers. Happy Mother's Day to you. Definitely, we appreciate you for everything that y'all do. Y'all are the rocks for which we stand on, and everything. But everybody, I think that's gonna pretty much wrap up the show for tonight. Definitely like the release. Definitely got the Titans and the veterans, the rookies and the veterans are now doing voluntary workouts right now. So there have been some time where Cam has been throwing it to Calvin Ridley, throwing it to Tyler Lockett, and the rookies. And Cam's been looking good. Cam has been looking good. I will agree with that. Very impressed. Definitely talked about rookie mini camp and everything. I thought the rookies very much were impressive. I think I talked about that last week. Definitely go back and check that out. Time were very good when you had criminals. I'm like, when did we have criminals? I'm like, come on, man. I know you ain't talking. The Steelers had a history of criminals. Okay, I'm kidding on that one still. CJ wasn't exactly a criminal. He just, when he got paid, he forgot how to run the football. And he dealt with some other stuff, which, I mean, I met CJ. I met CJ earlier this year. I met him and Lindell. I got a video on that. I'm about to put that out. Now, Pac-Man Jones definitely was some trouble. Definitely. That I agree with. Um, so, now Cortland just got into that fight with Andre Johnson. I ain't gonna lie, Andre whooped his ass. He did. But Cortland was tough. He wasn't gonna take it. So I definitely give shout out to Cortland Finnegan, no doubt about it. Best 7th round pick we ever had. But everybody, again, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It definitely helps reach a broader audience. Thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for hitting me up. Definitely, again, shout out to my guys, Sweet James Jones, Terrell T. Gas. Appreciate my Freeman brethren reaching out and everything. But everybody, I hope y'all have a very good rest of your Thursday. I'll be back again next week, and I'm gonna go ahead and get my tickets ready for some of these games. And y'all have a very good night. And I got more coming up. Definitely gonna be expanding the network. Definitely gonna be talking about much more NFL, and also gonna be trying to get into the NBA. I know we got the playoffs going on. Definitely gonna get into next season. Definitely gonna get into that next season talking Grizzlies. Definitely gonna try to talk some Vols. I know T-Gas will like that. Definitely gonna try to start watching more Vols football and everything. So definitely gonna do that. Obviously, Birds. Probably an Eagles fan. But anyway, definitely gonna hit y'all up, and make sure y'all stay tuned for more. And thank y'all for tuning into TNT tonight. I'm your host, Chris, aka Blu Enforcer, and as always, tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.